Hey everybody, Mntdewmania here. Welcome back to... No, it's not the Eddie Chest. I'm in the Eddie Chest world, but this is, believe it or not, my Redneck Rants for the day. And actually, I am here for a reason. So, the reason is that if you have been keeping up with me, you know that my husband is getting ready to go through some very major heart surgery. And it got me to thinking about my GoFundMe page that I started, and my daughter has started one. And people have been giving, which is always nice. It's wonderful that people are so generous. But it got me to thinking about what is really important about people being generous and what that means. So today's Redneck Rant is brought to you by the letter G. G is for generosity. And in case you're wondering what I mean when I say generosity, it is the willingness and liberality in giving away one's money, time, etc. Freedom from pettiness in character and mind. That's basically what I'm talking about. So when I say that I think that someone is generous, I'm not really always necessarily talking about money. Now, when you see somebody that does a charity, and somebody gives $10,000 to it, or some huge number, and you're just like, wow, that is so kind and generous, okay? But for every person that can afford to do that, there are just poor old folks like us that can't, and we probably never will be able to. But that does not necessarily mean that you are not generous. Because some people are generous in different ways and for different reasons. Okay? And then there's other forms of generosity that I think we need to talk about, but I don't know if you're going to agree with me or not, but I do kind of feel that way. So you're just going to have to bear that in mind as we talk about this, okay? So, of course, I've known Burning Steps online for a while, and he is very generous to let some of his friends play on the server, okay? When you get to know somebody and you trust them and, you start hanging out, and it's cool. And so you feel that you can be generous with whatever, your server, your time, you feel that you can be generous with them. A lot of people, once they watch a YouTuber and they do something for charity, people feel that they can trust them and be generous with whatever they're giving, money, whatever, okay? But there's a different kind of generous sometimes, and it's not always a good kind of generous, okay? Because this, in my opinion, of what generosity is, real generosity is doing something nice for someone else and who will never find out about it. Whatever you do, how you're generous, if you give to something that, like my GoFundMe page, okay? We're just going to use that as an example. Let's say that you gave to my page, or one of your favorite YouTubers, let's say Markiplier. Of course, everybody knows he's one of my favorites. And the reason he is because he does a lot of charity work. And I wanted to be generous, or you wanted to be generous, and we both go and we give to whatever charity he's running, okay? But we come at it from different points. Let's say I go and I paste it all over every media that I have. Twitter, Tumblr, DeviantArt, anything I have, I stick it everywhere that I donated to the charity. And I mean, I sing it from the highest star in the sky. And you never say anything. To me, that's two different kinds of generosity. Okay, I might be being generous with my money, but you're being generous in a different way. Not only with your money, but just with your goodness and kindness. And I think a lot of people nowadays give to a charity, or or volunteer time, which is a very generous thing to do, simply because they can say that they did it. They do it for the recognition, not for the fact that it's probably going to help somebody. 5 people, I think, so far have donated to my GoFundMe page. And a couple of them were anonymous. Some of them were not. I mean, they put their name because they wanted me to know who it was. But it really, sometimes I really have to stop and wonder, when I see these people giving on different charities, these just huge numbers, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, what in the world? I mean, yeah, everybody knows that you gave $10,000 to so-and-so because you've plastered it on every kind of, media there is. Yeah, we all know because you wanted us to know. And that's fine that you're that generous, but it doesn't seem generous anymore when you have to tell everybody. You know what I'm saying? So then it's to me, it's not generosity anymore. It's like, I saw this quote, too many have dispensed with generosity in order to practice charity. Now, and I saw that, and I'm thinking, now, isn't that the same thing? Isn't charity and generosity the same thing? And it's like, and it finally dawned on me what they were talking about. If you give to charities, which is wonderful, I mean, it's great that you do, but you're not doing it from the generous, loving, kind, humble part of your heart. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference if you're given $1 million, if you're going to sit and just crow about it to everybody. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't make it generous. You're expecting, if you think about it, you're expecting to get paid in your social life, or you're standing in the community, or you expect to benefit from it somehow. Now think about that. I really had to stop and, it's like, wait a minute. Generosity and charity are not the same thing. And it's true. Some people give to charity because they expect, benefits from it. They want something in return for their generosity. Okay? It's, but I guess the reason that I'm kind of, that kind of tips me a little bit, gets me a little upset, is because, think about this. What do you want to be known for? What is the legacy you want to be, that you want left behind? And people, 10 years after you're dead, people say, he was, she was. What is the thing that you want people to say? And I saw this quote. Albert Pike said, "What we have done for ourselves alone dies with us. What we have done for others and the world remains and is immortal." So think about that the next time you decide to give to a charity, or you're going to be generous and donate time, or whatever it is. to a charity or to another person, your community, your church group, whatever how you're going to be generous, think about why you're being generous. Is it for the benefit of the other person, or is it for your benefit? Okay? I mean, and I'm wondering, I mean, I have to say that there have been a couple times that I have given to charity, but I don't think I was generous about it. And it probably wasn't much money. I really do, I felt, now that I seriously think about this, I did it for the recognition. I didn't do it because I wanted to be helpful. I wanted somebody to pat me on the back and say, wow, you really did that. That was freaking awesome. I wanted to feel good about it, but now that I think about it, should I feel good about it? Because I didn't do it from the right place in my, in my heart. I didn't come to it from the generosity point of view. I came from it from the pat me on the back and look what I did point of view. So, I mean, if I'm going to be totally honest, yeah, I think I've done that probably more than a couple times. So, Mahatma Gandhi said, generosity consists not of the sum given, but the manner in which it's bestowed. I think that's an important thing to remember when you decide that you're going to be generous with a gift or generous with whatever, ever how you're getting ready to show your generosity. Where are you coming from with it, with this gift? Is it for your benefit or the person's or family or organization's benefit? Are you getting ready to plaster it all over your media sites so everybody can look and say, wow, boy, you're really a great person for doing that? I mean, I used to not think so much of you, but now you just up in the stratosphere. Are you coming from that point of view, or are you willing to do it anonymously just to help that person, and be generous, and it doesn't matter if anybody ever knows that you did it? And that's all that matters. So, and one more quote I'd like to kind of leave with you. A couple more if I can, actually. Mother Teresa said, if you can't feed 100 people, then feed just one. Sometimes I think we look at the scope of how big something is, and we choose because it's bigger. It's more well known. I'm not going to give to this one little person over here that nobody will ever know that I helped. But I mean, I'm going to go over here and give, to this big organization so everybody will know what I've done. It doesn't matter if I help one person. I need to help 100 people. No, sometimes you can do better by helping one person, because I think there's some more personal level there. You know what I'm saying? There's something that's just more hands-on about it. If you get where I'm coming from, it's more personal. And maybe I can't help 100 people. Maybe I can only help one. But what's wrong with that? Nobody ever said that being generous and helping somebody had to be in the hundreds. You could spread your generosity any way you want to, and you can advertise it or not, but it all needs to come down to, why are you being generous? That's what you need to ask yourself. If I could leave you this one last quote I found by John Wesley. Do all the good you can by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as you ever can. So, there you go, guys. G is for generosity. And I just want to thank, I guess this is more of a thank you to the people that have been generous with helping me with my GoFundMe, and of course my Tin Can Challenge charity drive that I run. But even if you haven't given money and you've given me time or a tweet or a share, that means just as much to me as if you donated money. Stopping by to say hi, leaving comments on my videos. Hope everything goes good. And a lot of people say, well, I wish I could help. I just can't right now. You did. You were so generous with your time and just your thoughts. For one minute of the day, they were focused on me. And, I lifted my chin up and said, you know what, I can get through one more day. Because you were so generous with just thoughts and kindness. And sometimes that speaks louder than anything. So, G is for generosity. And as always, I'm very grateful to Burning Steps for being so generous and letting me play on his server. And I am, of course, always hugs and loves to you guys for being so generous with your kind words and coming back again and again to watch my dorky little videos. It's much appreciated. And now I got to go figure out how I'm going to not murder the rest of my villagers. Maybe I'll be generous and just leave them alone. So until next time, guys, this is Mntdewmania. This is Redneck Rants, Season 4, by the way. I'm so out of here. Later, guys.